Actually, what are those five kingdoms? First one is Monera, next Protista, next fungi, next plantae, last one is the Animalia. Kingdom Animalia. Already we have discussed different phyla of the Animalia. What are those phyla? Let us recap all the discussed words. First one is first one, phylum Porifera. Next, phylum Coelenterata. It is also called as Cnidaria. Next phylum Platyhelminthes. Next phylum Nematohelminthes. Next phylum Annelida. Next Arthropoda. Next Mollusca. Next Echinodermata. Next Protochordata. Next Chordata. These are important phyla of the kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia. Okay. So Observe, it's a different phyla. Here, these all are invertebrate phyla. All are usually invertebrate phyla. Here, this is a vertebrate phyla. This vertebrate means they have notochord. They have notochord or vertebral column. This is very important feature of chordates. Important feature of the chordates. Already discussed Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata. These are subphyla of the chordata. Next, in subphylum Vertebrata, there are five classes. What are those? First one is, fishes. Second one, amphibians. Next, reptiles. Next, aves or birds. Next, mummies. These are five classes of subphylum Vertebrata. Are you understanding? Yes. Listen carefully. Next, last class I discussed is amphibians, reptiles, next, aves or birds, mermaids. Aves and mermaids. These are five classes. Okay. Observe. Next, okay, so next we have discussed about plant kingdom also. Different divisions of the plant kingdom and different classes of plant kingdom. Like this, we have discussed plant kingdom. For example, cryptogams, plant kingdom, cryptogams, and phanerogams. Next, phanerogams. Cryptogams means non-flowering plants. Cryptogams means non-flowering plants. They cannot produce flowers in their life cycles. Next, phanerogams means flowering plants. What? Flowering plants. Non-flowering plants and flowering plants. Non-flowering plants again divided into different groups. What are they? Halophytes, or Thalophyta, Bryophyta, next Peridophyta. These are three groups of non-flowering plants. Halophytes are actually algae and fungi, but Whittaker placed the fungi in separate kingdom, that is kingdom fungi. Kingdom fungi. Next here phanerogams. These are again two types. First one gymnosperms. Next, angiosperms. All phenograms are grouped in another group, that is spermatophyta. What? Spermatophyta. Spermatophyta. Spermatophyta is classified into like this: angiosperms and gymnosperms. Gymnosperms means naked seeded plants. These are naked seeded plants. Angiosperms means enclosed seeded plants. Okay, here closed seeded plants. Actually, seeds are enclosed inside of the fruits in angiosperms. But in gymnosperms, seeds are directly exposed to atmosphere. They are not enclosed within the fruit. Means fruits are absent here. Directly you can say fruits are absent in gymnosperms. Next, angiosperms, they divided again into two. They divided again into two. First one, dicot, dicotyledons or dicots. Next one, monocots. Dicots and monocots. Here example for the dicot: neem plant, Azadirachta indica. Here monocots, example for the monocots: rice, Oryza sativa. Oryza sativa. Already we discussed about this classification of plant kingdom. Okay, again after one second. Next, activities. To observe the characteristic features of different animals. You have to perform some activities in laboratory. What are those activities? First, to observe the characteristic features of porifera. You have to collect the first. You have to collect the sponges. Observe carefully. You have to collect the sponges or euplectella. Understanding? Or spongilla. Like this, you have to collect the sponges and observe the characteristic features of porifera. Characteristic features of porifera. Sponges. You know, pores are present on the body and a cavity-like structure is present. Okay, next a foot-like structure is also present. You have to observe these type of characters by collecting and observing the sponges. Next, to observe the characteristic features of Coelenterata, you have to collect the hydra. You know, hydra is appeared as a palm tree. All tentacles are present at the top region of the hydra. It is appeared as it is appeared as palm tree. Okay. Next to observe the platyhelminthes, you have to collect the tapeworm. Tapeworm. You know, Taenia solium. What? Taenia solium. Tapeworm. Taenia solium. It causes teniasis disease in human beings. Okay. You have to observe the tapeworm to identify the characteristic features of platyhelminthes. Okay. Next, to observe the characteristic features of nematohelminthes, you have to collect and observe the roundworms. What? Roundworms. These are also called as ascaris. What? Ascaris. Here example is this is a common name. Tapeworm is common name for the Taenia solium. Yes. Next, to observe the characteristic features of Annelida. You have to collect cockroach. Cockroaches to observe the characteristic features of arthropoda disease. Okay, here Annelida to observe the characteristic features of Annelida. You know, earthworms. earthworms, or any other structures, needles, or leech, or lies like this. Okay, observe earthworms. Next, to observe the characteristic features of arthropoda, you have to collect and observe the cockroach, cockroaches. Okay. Next, after that, you have to collect and observe the other one. Okay. Here, this is arthropoda organism. Now, mollusca means snail. Snails and observe the characteristic features of mollusca. Next, how to collect and observe the starfish to observe the characteristic features of echinodermata. After that, venom glosses. Venom glosses. How to collect and observe the venom glosses to observe the characteristic features of protochordata. Then after that, fishes, next to frogs, next to lizard, or any other one. Next, birds, any one bird. Next, any one mammal. How to observe the external characteristic features of any one mammal. Okay. Like this, to observe the characteristic features of different groups of animals, first how to collect the organisms of different types of groups, Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nemathelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Protochordata, fishes, frogs, fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, next mammals. From these groups of animals, you have to collect different types of animals, and you have to observe the characteristic features of all those animals. Okay, yes, observe. Next, in diversity in living organism chapter or in taxonomy. Already I told you taxonomy. What is taxonomy? Taxonomy means study of identification, nomenclature, classification is called taxonomy. Already told you Carolus von Linnaeus, Carolus von Linnaeus identified number of plant and animals, and he classified the plants and animals, and he proposed a two kingdom system of classification and some other important propositions related to the taxonomy. Okay, that is why Carolus von Linnaeus was regarded as the father of taxonomy. Father of taxonomy. Carolus von Linnaeus. Yes. Okay, next here now let us discuss about the nomenclature. In last classes we have discussed about classification, different types of classification process. Now let us discuss about the nomenclature. What? Nomenclature. What is nomenclature? Nomenclature means process of giving names to organisms. Process of giving names to organisms is called nomenclature. What is the need of nomenclature? Actually, different plants and animals have different types of local names in different regions or in different languages. For example, take potato. Take potato. Potato means this is the common English name. What is the Telugu name of potato? You know, Bangadumpa. Bangadumpa. It is the Telugu name of potato. What is the Hindi name of potato? You know, aloo. Aloo is the Hindi name of potato. Next, another Marathi name. Marathi name of the potato. You know, batata. Next, Biladi Alu. It is the Odia name. Odia name. Urula means hung. This is the actually Tamil name. What? Tamil name. Here the potato means English name. Bangalampa means Telugu name. Alu means Hindi name. Batata means Marathi name. Bilati Alu means Odia name. Urula means Hangu means Tamil name of potato. Observe in different languages, in different regions, one plant, observe carefully here. One plant can be called as different, can be called by different types of names. For example, potato means this is the English name. Here, Bangaladumpa or Alu. If you ask Alu, listen carefully here. If you ask Alu, like if you use the name of Alu to get the potato in England or America, can you get the Alu or potato? Can you get? No. Alu, this is the Hindi name actually. Actually, people who are living in England and America, they do not know the name Alu. The word Alu, meaning of Alu, they do not know. If you use the Alu, the name Alu, to collect or to take the potato, then they cannot give, because the word Alu they do not know, because this is a Hindi word. They know potato, the word potato. Understand? Next, Bangaladumpa. Actually, Bangaladumpa, it is a Telugu name. Bangaladumpa means Telugu name of potato. If you use the Bangaladumpa in Hindi states, for example, in Delhi or Jammu Kashmir or any other places, if you use the Bangaladumpa, the name Bangaladumpa, to collect the potato, can you get the potatoes? No, because they do not know the word Bangaladumpa, the name Bangaladumpa, the meaning of this. After there is a confusion. That is why scientists thought that an organism, listen carefully here, an organism, each and every organism should, listen carefully here, each and every organism should have only one universal name. Only one universal name throughout the world. Understanding? That is why to give the universal name, to give the universal single name to each and every organism. Scientists propose a process that is the nomenclature. That is the nomenclature. Each and every organism should have only one name, universally. For example, Mangifera indica. Mangifera indica. It is a scientific name of mango. It is a scientific name of mango. Mangifera indica, universal name of mango. Each and every people living in any country, they should know the Mangifera indica. This is the name for the plant mango. Ajadi recta indica. This is another scientific name of neem plant. Tamarindus indica, tamarind plant. For example, Homo sapiens. What? Homo sapiens. This is the scientific name of human beings. Okay. Each and every people living in any country, okay, all countries, they should know the Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens. This is the scientific name of human beings. Mangifera indica. Mangifera indica. This is the scientific name of mango. Observe, there are different types of some institutes. Observe carefully. Institutes to give the names or scientific names to each and every organism. For example, IU. For example, ICBM. There are different types. International Union for Botanical Nomenclature. What? IUCN. International Union. This is the International Union for Botanical Nomenclature. Okay, like this, there are different types of unions to give the scientific name to each and every organism. Okay, observe this. Observe carefully. This is a scientific name. Carolus van Linnaeus. He proposed an important nomenclature system, that is the binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature. Binomial nomenclature. This binomial nomenclature was first proposed by Gaspard Bahe. Gaspard Bahe. But it is popularized by Carolus van Linnaeus. According to binomial nomenclature, each and every scientific name of organism should have two words. How many words? Two words. This is the first word, this is the other word of the scientific name. This is the first word, this is the second word of the scientific name. Like this, each and every scientific name should have two names. Observe carefully. First